I don't think happiness comes from getting what you want. I think happiness comes from appreciating what you already have. So happiness to me, in that regard, is a skill. If we're saying happiness is appreciating what you have, that's a skill to appreciate what you have, especially in this day and age when you're bombarded with everything you don't have. Is your goal to be happy? Because if your goal is to be happy, good luck. This is life. You can find enjoyment in everything. A lot of people find enjoyment in physical pain even. That doesn't make you happy. Happiness comes and goes. It's not a constant state of enjoyment. So the question is, what's the goal here? Is the goal to be happy, or is the goal to get ish done? If your goal is to be happy, you might want to reevaluate your goals. I don't think happiness comes from, why don't you call out the nonsense that we're seeing? Why don't we call that out? Because it destroys lives. People do this on much smaller scales too. And it could be a joke. It could be a running joke. It could be a rumor that people like to run with because it's entertaining. Could be lots of different things. But at the end of the day, not only does it ruin lives, but it also has a lot of people feeling ways about certain things, people, situations, even cultures, even countries, right? And they don't even know why they feel like that. And you'll say to them, well, name one thing that somebody from that culture did to you. I don't know. I just don't like it. But it's propaganda and stuff that's pushed on us through media, on TV, through social media, through friends, through rumors, through all of this kind of stuff. It's a bunch of negativity that ruins the life experience, not only for that person that heard it, but the person that it was said about. Ready, locked, and loaded. Let me tell y'all something. It doesn't matter if later on you say you were joking. It doesn't matter if you were saying, oh, I was just playing into this, and obviously that's not true, and obviously I was being sarcastic. It doesn't matter. It's already out there in the atmosphere. People already had the reaction to that. People already read it and believed it for the time. There was 30 seconds or whatever. They're like, is this true? Whoa, this could be, whoa. Especially if they didn't like that person to begin with. People won't always remember what you said or what you did, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel. Those people aren't going to remember that it was all nonsense. It was a hoax and it was just propaganda. And it was something for clicks and views. They're just going to remember that they felt really bad about this company, this evil company. And I don't care. I don't care if it wasn't true. I don't like them. Just got a bad feeling about them.
We are live and alive.
Can't hear you, bro. Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yep. What's your camera look like that, bro?
You suck, bro. Can't hear you, man. Check, check. Can you hear me?
I can always hear you, but you're the one who can't hear me.
Clear? You suck, bro. Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. How we doing?
We're doing.
So I got my books.
Well, yeah.
Got my books.
The camera looks a little bit weird, though. It's a little blurry. Just letting you know.
Is it better?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you know why? Because I have now it's clear, right?
Yeah, it is. I said it's better.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Next time you should just try checking that before jumping on live, so we don't have our wonderful people waiting. Just a little tip.
Yeah. Let us know where you're coming in from. I'm always wondering where people tune in from, because you just assume that everybody is like in the place that you're at, especially because remember, like the other day I was at the airport and then like somebody was like, "Hey, you're the Conversation with Jay guy, right?" And he's like pulled out his phone. He's like, "This is you, right?" So I always wonder where else people tune in from. I know, for example, Christina's out in Arizona. I know, for example, like there's a lot of different places. It's just always interesting to see where people are tuning in from.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think our audience probably knows what happened with the whole Touré situation back in the day. Do you want to jump on? Can you share your screen and can we play that clip with Touré? Can we play that video real quick? It's on our channel. You guys can go back and actually watch that if you want. It's on our channel. But basically, I actually respect Touré. I think that Touré has absolutely great interviews. I mean, I've told a lot of people, like, Touré was the first, I think, and only person to interview Jay-Z and Nas together after the beef. Touré has done interviews with Jay-Z separately, Nas separately, even before that. As far as I know, Touré also, he also had the first ever interview. I think it's a short. It might be a short, by the way. See, it might be a short, but I think Touré has the first interview with not the first interview. I think he's one of the first people to hear the Blueprint, the album, the Blueprint, the Blueprint one. So Touré, he's done a lot in journalism, and I really do respect him. The reason why I had an issue with Touré, for those of you guys who don't know, the reason I had an issue with Touré to begin with was his take on the Puff trial. That's what kind of set me a little bit back. And I started watching. I was seeing some of his videos on YouTube because I was a subscriber on his channel. And me being at the trial myself, and all of those days in a row, I was like, man, you're just spewing nonsense into the air. And I didn't feel like he was being honest about what was actually going on in the trial. Not only that, he wasn't really there that much. He was barely even at the trial. So you guys are about to see this video right here that C is about to play. I don't know if you can full screen that or whatever, but you guys are about to see this video right here. And this video was honestly me going up to Touré, talking to him, hey, can we go and have a conversation on the side? So I seen him maybe 3 days, maximum 3 days at the trial. I was at the trial every day. You guys already know from week 2. I missed the beginning because I was away, but when I got back, I was there for all the days, barring maybe a few days. But he was only there for maximum 3 days. And so, first of all, I didn't understand how he was just lying. Like, it was just straight up lies that he was saying on his channel. And I respected him. So I checked him about it respectfully. And I said to him,
hey, can we have a word? You know, I think you do great stuff in the media space, and I would like to have a word with you about what you're saying about the trial, because it's propaganda, it's nonsense. I get it. At that time too, he was trying to build his channel, so he was trying to say salacious things, and I do understand that as well. And he's trying to find his way in the YouTube space. But essentially, we walked to the side of a, so right here where you guys see that on your screen, right there was kind of like the entrance is to the left and the exit is to the right. So everybody was exiting right after the trial. This is after that particular day. Everybody was exiting the courtroom in the same exact vicinity. However, the main road is on the other side. So most people would be walking to the other side to go to the main road to get their transit or whatever. And that's where mainstream media was. So I asked him can I have a word with you on the side? And I just started basically challenging him and saying, hey, what you're doing with the puff stuff is it's not right, because you're lying and you haven't been here on all the days and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I had a lot of viral moments in the trial because for whatever reason. So I did a lot of interviews. And when I was speaking to him, it was one YouTuber that ran up and like, because we were having an intense conversation, but by the time I turned around, there was like 20 YouTubers, or not even just YouTubers, just like everybody. There was like 20 cameras all around us. We were surrounded. It was like 20 cameras surrounding us. It was supposed to be a private conversation. That's why I pulled them to the side. Time I turned around, it was like 20 cameras. So see, why don't you full screen that for everybody? This is how I met this guy. This is how I met him. This is, you guys are seeing it live right now.
Cassie has,
when I say full, sorry, can you back up? When I say full screen, I mean take you and I off the screen. Hey, what's up?
Instance of unwanted.
There are 0 instances. That's my point.
Wait. When
The volume is really low, by the way.
Open wound on her face because she just got her ass beat, and she OD'd, and they wake her up. Do you think that she really wanted to freak off? No. That was one thing in Long Island. That was one incident.
No, the thing on her head.
That's a different time. That's a different time than he. No, I know, but this is there are multiple times. No, there's multiple times when Jane gets her ass beat for 4 straight hours.
She doesn't get her ass beat for 4 straight hours.
That's right.
She slammed his head.
That is completely irrelevant. That she pushed him.
And
that's not the question.
7-hour break from the violence. They got into a fight. 7 hours later,
they had another altercation.
He beats her ass. I mean, this timing is not helping your argument. This is like semantical. He beats her ass. She leaves out of her house in terror.
He beat her ass when she came back.
No. I'm fully aware of everything. She gets her ass beat. She leaves.
No, she leaves before she got her ass beat.
No. She comes back.
All right,
she gets her ass beat again.
Yes, she comes back. She gets
her ass beat. And then they go into a freak up. Do understand that we are not able to say no to this man? Are you not paying attention? Nobody is saying no to him, not because they want to do it. They are coerced. That is sex trafficking. That's what we're here for.
All I'm saying is these women were victims, but they're not S trafficking victims. That's all I'm saying. They're victims, but they're not S trafficking victims.
How is it not?
But it's not my burden of proof to say how it's not.
No. I mean, I'm just talking.
You have to prove. If you think.
I mean, I feel like she did.
Where's the one? Y'all keep saying. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's one incident enough, and then we have to say, okay, where's the one beyond a reasonable doubt incident that happened? You can't do a blanket.
Okay. Do you think that Cassie wanted him to urinate into her mouth?
There's women that like that. There's women that like stuff like that. I don't know, Cassie. I don't know. And it doesn't matter if you think it or not. She asked the guy to.
But she did not.
Hey, guy. That's what his testimony was. His testimony was that she asked him.
Oh, yeah, that was his testimony.
She said.
That's what he asked. And he said he wasn't doing it right, so they stopped him.
Cassie said that Sean said. However, the escort said that she asked.
Right, but Cassie said Sean asked her to ask.
Cassie said anything.
Shout out, Emily knows everything.
She asked him. She wrote a book, tried to sell it to him for $30 million. Obviously, the book is salacious, that has all kinds of exaggerations in it. Then took the $30 million book, put a book into a lawsuit in 48 hours. She had to stick to what she said in the book on the stand.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she's not a credible witness.
I agree with that totally.
So she exaggerated in the book in the first place.
Oh, I see where you getting it. Oh.
And then she had to stick with the story.
Oh, now I knew why I rock with you from day one, Con.
But then you get the
You
expert
surgical.
on the stand saying, no, it wasn't Puff that told me to urinate in her mouth.
It was her. It was her.
She changed the stuff in the...
Oh, because of the suit. Because now you done living by your words, and now you just got to stick to it.
I mean, you start from a position of not even believing Cassie. You think Cassie
I don't
lied.
believe anybody.
I think she was a credible witness in ways too, though, but I felt she lied in some ways too.
I started from a position of
In
neutral.
coming forward and having this conversation
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah, she did.
Lost her youth to this man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, everything they say they did. It's a legal question of if they can prove it. I know the people in this. I know.
Hold up.
I don't know what Berna. I don't know.
Bono, whatever.
I don't know about her.
Yeah,
I'm
don't do what you're
telling
saying. No, you know
I
people.
know people in Bad Boy. Her
Okay.
album was never supposed to come out.
Okay.
Talent.
But she still could have popped though. She still could have popped though. She could have faked it till she made it. She could have faked it till she made it.
You know,
A lot of beautiful people get it popping though.
a lot of people have.
So I mean, she could have faked it till she
Britney
made it.
Spears is talented.
That's what I'm saying. You can fake till you make it.
But a lot of people release albums where they're not that talented.
No, she never said that.
Those words
I'm
came from the
telling you.
prosecution.
So it's hearsay.
No.
Those words came from the
I figured that out before the trial started.
And then
Yeah.
Jane Doe is with him.
That's a different
right
story.
Up, right up
I already just proved sex trafficking on Cassie. The whole recording deal is sex trafficking.
But sometimes some things make you correct.
I just proved it.
It sounds like some of her testimony was kind of doctored by the prosecution. It was coached by the prosecution. But I put a little more respect on Cassie.
She was credible, but she also lied.
Yeah, she lied to. She lied to.
She's the only one that I went through any
By a powerful person who is much older than her, who has love bombed her, who controls her through multiple ways. She is a child compared to him.
I just asked a simple question.
What's all right?
All I'm asking is, are you saying that she has zero accountability?
He started with her when she was 19. She had never had oral sex. 19.
They met at 19, started dating at 20.
She was with what was it, Ryan Leslie?
She was with Ryan Leslie and at 17, by the way. And but she never had oral sex before. No, you don't have to put me on the screen. I'm just saying, like, absolutely crazy. No, we could cut this.
It was done by there, by the way. Just
Pardon me.
the video was done by there.
The video, what?
The video, it was finished.
Oh, it was done there. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at Zootor's comment. It says, I am not a Touré fan. I think his obsession with hating Drake is getting old. I actually agree. Now, I can never win. I've already told C, if I say anything good about Drake, they're going to say, Jay, that's because you have ties to Toronto. And if I say anything bad about Drake, they're going to say, Jay, you're a hater. So I can never win. So I don't touch the Drake subjects. I don't touch the Drake topics. Go Drake, yay who. But I will agree with that. Touré is such a Drake hater that it's annoying. Like, it's just like, bro, like we can't even take you serious. It's like Touré is the opposite of academics. Like, it's like I can't take anything academics says seriously about Drake because he's such a Drake meat rider. And then it's just like, also at the other end of the spectrum, you have Touré, who is just like, I also can't take anything that he says seriously about Drake either, because he's just a hater when it comes to Drake. So yeah, I agree with Zootor's on that one for sure. But here, look, we're here now. Cheyenne Bryant is no doctor. We already know this, okay? Now, let me tell you guys how I know this, okay? Let me tell you guys how I know she is not a doctor. First of all, she does have an honorary doctorate, but she just got it last year. So, but she's been calling herself a doctor all this time. And an honorary doctor does not make you a doctor. It makes you an honorary doctor, like Maya Angelou. But I want I want to tell you guys exactly how I know she's not a doctor. See, you went to university. You're university educated, right?
Yep.
Where is your university degree?
University of the West Indies.
No. I didn't say where's it accredited. Where's your degree? Where's your actual degree?
Oh, I have it behind me on my.
It's right behind. Exactly. And did you not have to finish your university during COVID? That you couldn't even go to the school?
Yeah.
All right. So you had to finish university during COVID, couldn't even go to the school, and you were able to get your degree somehow, right?
Yep.
Let me tell you all a story. When I was a kid, I had a cousin, and shout out to him if he's watching, but I had a cousin that literally used to pretend to go to school. This is high school, okay? My cousin pretended to go to high school. Bye, mom, bye, dad. He went out the door. I don't know what he did. Then he came back in as soon as they went to work, came back into the crib and just chilled, play video games, whatever, right? That's what I had, okay? So my mother, his parents ended up finding out. So my mother always was like, oh, did you graduate from high school? Because I never had a high school diploma. I never went for it. I never went to the school, went back to the school to go and get the high school diploma or anything. I was like, yeah, whatever. I know I graduated. Who cares? Whatever, right? So my younger brother, my brother closest to my age, because I have a lot of brothers, but my brother closest to my age that I lived with, because I also have brothers I didn't live with, but my brother closest to my age that I lived with, who's the closest brother to me, he started getting in my mother's head. And so he started, oh, Jay didn't really, he pulled I'm not going to say my cousin's name, but let's say my cousin's name is Cody or C. He pulled a C. He pulled a C and he didn't really graduate. He's not been going to school or whatever, right? Now, mind you, I graduated with 7 more credits in my high school than I needed. So I actually overgraduated. But I had to go back. I stayed longer in school to play basketball. My point is that my mother actually started believing it. And she went to the school to investigate. And she ended up finding my little diploma, high school graduate thing, whatever. So it only took my brother to tell my mother, hey, check this out. He might not have graduated. The entire world is accusing this woman. The entire world is accusing this woman of not graduating with a doctorate. Now let's listen to her excuse. And I want you guys to just recognize the blinking. Because when I was trained for even coaching, I was trained on many things, but one is that how do you tell if a client is telling the truth? Because when I was trained for coaching, if a client lies to you, you can't help them because they're giving you false information to go off of. So it's impossible to help the client that's lying. So we always had to ask follow-up questions, look for signs and stuff like that if they're not telling the truth. And one of the things was blinking. So she went on the Breakfast Club to clear it up and promote one of her books, which would never be on this shelf because she's not an actual doctor. Okay. She went on the Breakfast Club to clear this up, right? Let's go ahead and look at what she actually said. And I want you to catch the blinks. We can't play the entire video. We have to put it overlay because they're going to, make us take it down. But I want y'all to catch the blinks. Play that for me. You're on mute.
Whoops. Thanks. Just before that, guys, I just want to remind you, if you're just following in, remember to like that video and also click the subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel. Just another way to...
One sec. And I want Zutor says Cheyenne and her hidden degrees. By the way, she said she has 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. We're going to get there. 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. We're going to get there. And we're going to show the video evidence that she actually said this. Who even claims that? That's like claiming that you went on the moon last night. Continue.
About your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
Mm-hmm.
How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here, I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it.
Pause it.
For the folks who have already been.
Put me on the screen, please. This book, shout out Pat Flynn, really good book. Super fans, all right? Shout out Pat Flynn. Wrote this book, okay? I don't even know what page it's on. I'll try to find it. I'm going to find it while we're playing. But in this book, you guys can look it up. Go and ask AI if you want. He talks about naming your audience something. So you create super fans by giving them a name. So probably your favorite YouTuber has probably done that. Like if I wanted to name my audience, I would be like the Con Squad or something like that. She says my Doc Squad. So clearly she does have some knowledge and research, right? Clearly she does have something. She does have some knowledge. She's not an idiot. Oh, she's not stupid. She is an idiot, but she's not stupid. She's an idiot because she thought she would fool the whole entire world. But at the end of the day, this book, she must have read this book. Shout out Pat Flynn. She calls them my Doc Squad. So what she's saying right now is, I don't owe a explanation to anybody else. I owe an explanation to the people who support me. But more importantly, listen to how she describes everybody else. Listen to the language that she uses. Listen to what she says about the people who don't support her, who maybe just are neutral and just saying, hey, can you show me some proof? Listen to this.
Made up their mind to not like me or not understand me. Listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my Doc Squad, my fan base, my folks, you know.
And she calls them my Doc Squad. You're not a doctor, lady. You're not a doctor. You might as well call them the Fraud Squad. Can we hashtag the Fraud Squad? Let's call them the Fraud Squad. You're not a doctor, lady. Why are you calling them your Doc Squad? I in preparation for this live, we watched a bunch of stuff that she has done, and then we watch a bunch of commentaries, especially of people who are just making videos about how foolish the things that she's saying are. And at the end of the day, one person was really great in her analysis. She said she's good for Bravo. She's good for the network Bravo, which has a lot of reality TV shows. And as Touré said, he was like, you're a doctor on TV. You're not a doctor in real life. So her quote unquote Doc Squad, okay, who are clearly subscribed because they think you're a doctor, right? This is what her explanation to them. These are the people, yes, Zutor, she had a good run. Yeah, MTV, yeah, reality show. These are the people that you're claiming that, these are the people I respect. These are people who support me. Don't they deserve to know the truth? If these are the people that support you, these are the people who got you 4.7 million followers on Instagram, talking out of your ass, by the way. We couldn't play a lot of her Instagram. I went through her Instagram. You guys can go into her Instagram. I sent Cody a bunch of Instagram videos, and she responded to me and said, I can't put this on the live because we're gonna get flagged because of the music in the background. So at the end of the day, we weren't able to play it for you. But please go on her Instagram and see this nonsense that she spews, which was Touré's problem with her. Touré said, I know a lot of doctors. I know a lot of people. Actually, the brother that convinced my mother that I didn't graduate from high school to the point that my mother had to go to the high school to get my high school diploma, he's married to a doctor. And she has all doctor friends. And when they got married, I spoke to all the doctors that she has. And if you know anything about doctors, they usually they become like doctors are friends with doctors because of the like residency and the like studying together and how long it takes. And a lot of people can't really understand the work that you have to put in to become a doctor. Okay. And at the end of the day, she wants to ride on that, say my doc squad, which we're going to get to, by the way, in a second, because she also says that, oh, I paid to be a doctor, didn't graduate, but I paid to be a doctor so I can call myself a doctor. We're going to get there too, because she says that too. So this is her explanation for her quote unquote doc squad, her quote unquote super fans. This is her explanation for her super fans. Go ahead.
I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party? That third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no, because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying, well, we're going to give you back your money, and it wipes out your entire program. Luckily, I had, I do this with all of the schools. I had downloaded from the actual student portal my transcripts at that time, and I was able to get just about all of my transcripts, including up to like dissertation. But everything else, there's just no holding take for any of our records, which I think is completely effed up. Just in
They
general.
are going to kill you online this week. They're going to say she has no records. They just want to hate you regardless. But
No, that's fine. And it's not even that there's no records that I don't. The school had a third party that carried the records only for a limit of 2 years. So it's not me. It's any student that attended Argosy. But again, it doesn't, how can I say it? It doesn't affect me, because if I chose to go get a license as an LMFT, I have my master's in marriage and child therapist. I have my hours. I can just take that and say, hey, let me submit these for licensure, and I want to go sit for my exam, and I'll have to do a study. I don't need a doctorate in counseling psychology to go get licensed as a therapist. That's what we're all missing.
they say the reason that you don't get
why are we
questioned
missing
or
that?
tested.
Why are we missing that? Let me send her. That's her book. That's the post she has in the book, The Doctor. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you have to say about it? Because you I can see the gears in your mind are turning. Like the bullshit alert is on full display.
So she basically said, all right, she went to she contacted them, right? And they're saying, yeah, we can give you your money back, but you don't get credit. You don't get credit for anything. But so she's saying that she chose to still remain without her certificates.
No, she's saying that she didn't get her money back. So she wanted to keep her credit. But here's the thing. She said that she remained without her certificate. But then she's like, oh, I also don't need a certificate to practice, to do what I'm doing right now. Unless I want to collect insurance or this or that. I think we have a video about the actual doctor that breaks it down, right? Like, this makes no sense. But remember I told you guys, I'm going to prove that she's not a doctor. Because what she just said, and Envy tried to play the role of Charlemagne, God bless him, but you know, he's lighter than a paper bag, so he could only be so aggressive. So but what I'm saying is, Envy tried to play the role of Charlemagne, but at the end of the day, it didn't work. And here is what Charlemagne, if I was on the show, here's what Charlemagne would have said. All right, but didn't you say you have 3 doctorates? This is how I know she's bullshitting. This is all nonsense. She said she has 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. Can you play that for me, please? 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. Play that. Because, okay, you don't have a doctorate for this university, but what about your other 2 doctorates? Go ahead, play it.
Far as I could, I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree, and I ran as far as I could. I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree.
One more time, please. One more time.
And I ran as far as I could. I ran into 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, a master's degree.
Okay. So if you have 6 degrees, 3 doctorates, and a master's degree, then who cares about that university that shut down that you went to, that you can't get your papers from? Why don't you show your other 2 doctorates? Not for me, not for C, not for the people we have on the live right now, not for the audience that are watching Conversations with Jay, for your doc squad. Remember, she said, F all the people who want to know what your credentials are. I'm doing this for the doc squad. So don't do it for us. Do it for your doc squad, your super fans. Do it for them. Do it for the super fans. Do it for the people who put the money in your pocket. Do it for the 4.7 million followers that you have on Instagram. Sorry, my bad. 4.7 million sheep that you have on Instagram. Okay, do it for them. They deserve to know the truth. No? No? So give them the other 2 doctorates that you have. Sorry, so you jumped on screen, so you want to say something. Go ahead. You're on mute again, by the way.
Sorry, I have to keep muting myself because I'm coughing. I still haven't got over the cough, and the damn dogs are in the background. I don't want it interrupting the live.
Oh, the dogs.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. So I thought about that, and I was like, it already took me 4 years to get my simple bachelor degree, right? So I did a little Google search, and she has 6 degrees. Oh, and I didn't even include the master's degree, but I guess it still works out anyway. She has 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. And I did a Google search, and I asked
like
it,
Google AI.
How long does it normally take to earn 6 degrees and 3 doctorates? And it said a total of 27 to 33 years. Now, this lady is 43. You guys can do the math.
She's 43. And what did it say? What did the AI say?
It says total time is 27 to 33 years. Because it takes about 12 years for 3 bachelor degrees. And it didn't even count.
I can see it here. It does the breakdown of how many credits, credited hours and everything you need, even so.
Yeah. So there's that's crazy. 27 to 33 years.
Total time, 27 to 33 years. Let's say she did it only 20, 25. I guess maybe she's just been in school her whole life. If she's 43, if she started when she was 18 and then she's 43, so maybe she falls just short of 27. Maybe, you know what? See, we're dealing with like a child genius. Obviously, you know, we're dealing with a child genius that she could get 27 years of schooling, but she only did it in like 16.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, Khadija. Khadija, shout out to you. Khadija says you can
What's
do
up?
2 at a time, even 3. I've heard of a double major before, yes. But doing
3 doctorates. Now, one of her doctorates is an honorary doctorate. So let's just give her 2 doctorates. But where's the other one? Okay, so you said that you have 3 doctorates, but you're only saying there's only one, like one that you can't get, but where's the other one? Or just say, you know what? I call myself a doctor because I paid to be a doctor. I didn't finish the school, but I paid the money, right? And how do I know this? How do I know she's saying this? Why don't you roll that next clip? How do we know she's saying this? Because
Wait,
there's
which
a
one?
lady that went to school with her.
Oh,
There's a lady
we
that
don't
went.
want to finish. We don't want to finish. We don't want to finish the Breakfast Club clip.
We'll go back to the Breakfast Club clip. I can only
Alright.
take so much bullshit at a time.
All right.
My name is Shalonda. Last name Khanversations, but most people call me Dr. K. And I went to school with Cheyenne Bryant, the very same school she got her degree from. Hold on. See that? Argosy University. See that? Argosy University. Same year.
Same year. Same year.
Yeah. We went to school. She was already calling herself doctor. We got into an argument about it one time because the dialogue we were having in class was, do we call ourselves doctor even though we weren't completed with school? And she said she paid so that she could be a doctor. And I said, being called doctor isn't that damn important because it's no difference than anything else. What's important is the work we do. But we got into a very heated argument about it. And our instructor said, you cannot say that you're a doctor if you haven't completed your dissertation and done with school. Period. But me and Cheyenne used to get in a lot of arguments about shit. And one of the things that she said she wanted to do was she wanted to be the next Iyanla Vanzant. So she went to a lot of her courses, studied up under her. Now, I don't know if she graduated or not, but I do know, as I just showed you, that I have my diploma. Now, what I can
I just want to bring attention to that you know she has hers and they went to school the same year.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
where's yours? And where's your where's yours?
Mine right there.
Right there, exactly, right behind you, right?
As a matter, let me get it.
Exactly. Why don't you go and bring it for us? Because everybody has their diploma.
Right here.
Look, watch out. Everybody has their diploma.
Protected
You
too.
spent all that money and you spent all that time and all those years. Everybody got it. Where's yours, lady? You got 3, right? As she said, she has 3 doctorates. Give me one.
Yeah. All right.
say is she is correct. We cannot get a psychology license with our degree because the school lost its accreditation. And that's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. So we paid a lot of money for that shit. But what I'll tell you is this. I still can, but we'd have to go back to school and do a program. And that's how we would get our degree. Can you still get your credits? Hell yeah. I had to get a job for the government, goddamn. I also am in private practice, goddamn. You can still get all the class, all your credits, your transcripts. You get access to that. You can't not get that. What the fuck is that? That's not true. So yes, she still can get it. She just lied. Now, what I can say, again, if she did go to school with her, we were in a couple of classes together. But what I don't know is if she graduated or not. Because if she did, she'd have been able to do this. Pause.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Funny, because when I first saw her, I'm like, I know her. Did I go to school with her? I don't know, maybe. But when she said she went to Argosy, that's when I was like, God damn. We actually did fucking go to school together, god damn it. When I tell you, goddamn, she was heavily in her shit. But we argued about a lot of shit that didn't make sense to me. But one thing I can say is this. What really pissed me off was the Cam Newton thing. Because instead of her saying something as simple as a father's presence or lack thereof in a child's life is very impactful. And if you're not in the house with your child, it's going to impact your child. Your presence in the home is important. Every other weekend is not enough. You need to physically be present in the home. Why? Because the image of you is so important. If you have daughters, then you know what's going to happen? They're going to pick the wrong man because you weren't there. You weren't there to tuck them in at night. You weren't there, period. So I'm not saying that picking your child up on the weekends is negative. What I'm saying is your full presence in the home is important. Your full presence. Picking them up on the weekend is not enough time.
Which is, if you guys haven't seen that Cam Newton podcast, that's the one that she was just. I can't play a lot of the Cheyenne Bryant clips. We might do another video on this because she essentially is exactly what I am, a coach. Like I started out as a business coach, but then your business and your personal life is tied together. So essentially, you become like a life coach and a business coach at the same time. Like I've had clients for almost damn near a decade. Some of my clients, I've had them before. One of my clients, she when I started coaching her in her business, she got married, had 4 kids, got a divorce, and is a single mother of 4 kids now, all in the span of 10 years, right? So you're dealing with a lot of life issues as well, not just business issues. And especially when you're using your business money to pay for your personal life, right? If your business is funding your personal life, as we say, the point of a perfect business is to fund the perfect life, then of course, obviously, I'm going to have to deal with a lot of personal issues, coaching you through divorce, coaching you through your mother passing away or your husband's mother passing away or whatever, right? My point is, essentially, Cheyenne Bryant and I do the same exact thing. But I could have charged a lot more money if I said I was Dr. J. So let's jump into her website and see how much money she charges. So everybody wants to say, hey, but she helps people anyways, She helps people. Jay, you help people. She helps people, Yeah, but you get a lot more money, and we're going to get into her Instagram after this with her bags on her yacht and her LA Hollywood lifestyle. We'll get into that right after this. Don't let me forget. But why don't we just go through her website real quick? Because she's Dr. What can she really charge? Because she's Dr. She's not just a slick talker. She's not just a regular scammer. She's a doctor. She's not just a fake guru. She's a doctor. And by the way, guys, she lowered that. Oh, no, this is the for group coach. So if you want to be in a group with everybody, $225 a head. $225 a head for the group. By the way, this website sucks. She should hire me. I can help her. But $225 a head. Okay, go to the coaching program.
Okay. Coaching
Sub
program.
top, right there. Yeah, right beside services. Right, $205, $25 a head. You can book it right there. Now, if you go 2 more over on the top right, you'll see the book a session. Last time I checked, she had all the days available, so I don't know how much the doctor is really helping her. But maybe today she doesn't have all the days available. Let's see.
It's not even loading.
I can help her. $350. Oh wow, she changed up everything. It says $350 for a 50-minute Zoom. Before it was a 40-minute. And let me see. If I want to book for Monday, June 1st, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's like literally the whole day. I can book anytime. Wait, you don't do anything? You're a doctor. Aren't you supposed to be busy? We can go on this website. Look at. I mean, now we're in September.
Whoops.
You're skipping the months.
Yeah.
But just look at June. Go to next day. 9 to 5 available. Next day, 9 to 5 available. Next day, 9 to 5 available.
Well, the 5 isn't available, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. Somebody booked a session at 5 o'clock. My bad. But
then
next week, 9 to 5 available. This is for the doctor. So where is she making her money? It's clearly not in the life coaching. It says right up top left, life coaching. But all of your life coaching slots are available. I'm on your website. So where are you making your money? AdSense, Instagram posts. You have 4.7 million followers on Instagram, probably YouTube. Booking. Didn't she have something where you could book a talk with her for $500 or something like that?
Yeah. So let me go on that. So under services on her website, she has virtual life coaching via FaceTime or Zoom, $350. Private wellness retreat, $500. Book Dr. Bryant as your speaker, panelist, special guest, etc., $500. Telephonic life coaching, $350.
But so you must be making, because ain't nobody actually, even if you had like regular clients, let's say you had one client, you give me the initials, not the initials, actually, I don't want to dox her. Give me the first letter of the name of my 8:30 appointment every Wednesday. See? The first letter of her name.
N.
Yes. Exactly. Every week on a Wednesday, 8:30 a.m., I have N. You wouldn't be able to see 9 o'clock available on my schedule ever. Give me the first letter of Monday's appointment at 9 a.m.
K.
Exactly. And we could go through this over and over and over again. You know why? Because I actually do this. This lady is a fraud. This lady is an absolute fraud. But she charges even more than me because she's a doctor. Dr. Bryant. How dare her create an oxymoron like that as a fraud? Put Dr. Bryant, because, you know, Kobe Bryant. Like, how dare she? How dare she? This is all a facade. This is fugazi. This is all nonsense. Where she makes her money is these Instagram posts that she puts, these thirst traps that doctors never would need to do. My brother's wife is a doctor. She would never post something like this. All of her friends are doctors. I've never seen them post something like this. Don't follow all of them, but you get my sense. Yes, this is where she makes her money. This is where she makes her money. She doesn't make her money on life coaching, on I'm a doctor, on diagnosis. You can't even give somebody a prescription. You can't even prescribe medication to somebody, my lady. This is where you make your money. Being a thirst trap on Instagram. Going on Cam Newton's podcast and he paid you $500. $500 is not a lot of money, by the way. Like in the grand scheme of things, you're going on a podcast for $500. You have 4.7 million followers, right? And God bless Cam Newton, and God bless Shannon Sharp, but these football CTE dudes, they're not the brightest in the bunch. So you can go on their podcast and sound profound. You could sound like you're just so smart and you just know so much about relationships and this and this. You could sound profound on their podcast because also their listeners aren't scholars. Let's just put it that way. Okay? Their listeners are also not scholars. So you sound like the smartest person in the room because you are. Toure says she doesn't even like men. Yes. Or have any experience. Exactly. She doesn't be dating like that.
You know what's crazy though is how she goes around and she markets herself. She be faking that. She fakes it. Yo, hats off to her because she faked that stuff until she makes it, yo, and she's making it. And I'm actually surprised that there are not more people who would have booked her out, to be honest. I'm actually surprised because
I'm not, you know why I'm not surprised? Can I tell you why I'm not surprised?
Why?
I ask you a question. Thank you. I ask permission. I'm not surprised. See, I have the pen in my hand because I'm like writing stuff down on my notes so I don't forget. I'm not surprised because once you have one session with this lady, you're like, I don't need to spend another $350. I've been there. I've been in therapy since I was a child. Okay. Since I was a small little 7-year-old kid, I've been in therapy. I can't even count how many therapists I've had growing up. Went through some crazy life stuff. But my point is, there's a lot of therapists that was like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, I'm good. I don't need to pay you another $375. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happens with her. That's why her schedule is not, you have one session with her, you say, I could have taught myself that. And I know because if you guys go to her Instagram, she has that on her. She has one that's like, you can't blame your childhood for the things that you've gone through. You can't blame your childhood. You have to move past that because if you blame your childhood, you are a victim. And as you have that victim energy around you, it brings you down. Down. Do not blame your childhood. You are not a victim. You are the victor. You are the victor, the victory. And you put some weird ass music behind it. Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. I didn't need $350 to hear you say, I don't have to blame my childhood. I am not a victim and I can't be the victor. Like, what are we talking about? That's not even worth a stop on a scroll. When you're scrolling through your timeline, I don't need to hear that. That's obvious. This is supposed to be a doctor. Where are your statistics? Where are your diagnosis or diagnostics? Where's say, I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend. She's on my level. She's on my level. No, she's not actually. She's way below me. But I'm just saying, right? If a doctor is, when I actually meet with an actual psychiatrist, right? Because you don't have to be a psychiatrist to be a therapist. You don't have to be a doctor to be a therapist. You just have to be licensed in most places. When I meet with someone, they will say, this chemical does this. It spikes this certain thing within your, I'll give you a perfect example. One of my psychiatrists, she was telling me basically to stay off certain type of foods and stay off certain type, obviously don't drink in certain situations and whatever. She explained the entire thing that it does biologically in my body, to my system, my mind, changes your chemical balance, understanding all of that. When you do this, if you do these exercises, it releases this type of chemical within you and all that. She would explain all of that stuff to me. This, and you guys could go on her, I'm not making this up. Go on her Instagram. She literally posted that on her Instagram. You cannot blame your childhood. No shit, Sherlock. What the hell are we talking about? Who here believes that any good things are going to happen if they blame their parents who either are not part of their life, dead, or trying to do better for the way they are today? And then that's going to help you. Who in the world believes that? Nobody. Anyways. Sorry, I'm passionate about fake gurus.
Yeah. Now I wanted to get into this fake. I was gonna say a fake video. I guess I want to get into this one. And know you might have some thoughts about this, but you guys probably have seen it before. But let's just play it.
But before you get into it, hold up. Just make sure you don't get triggered by your childhood, because those things are in the past and you're the victor. Okay. So anything in this video, please, you see, and the audience, please do not get triggered by this.
For many people, and oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free.
Whoa. This is one of my pet peeves, by the way. You saw the book. LL Cool J. But that's one of my pet peeves. You're a doctor. You have 6 degrees and 3 doctorates. I'm actually doing really good. That actually doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it's really well. It's I'm doing very well. Or I'm doing really well. It's not, I'm doing really good. I'm just saying, 6 degrees, 3 doctorates. Me, I'm just a nigga from the streets. And I know the difference between I'm well, thanks, how you doing? Now I'm good, thanks. Good, I'm good doesn't make any sense. I'm good, you're describing who you are. You're a good person. Anyways, 6 degrees, 3 doctorates. Let's continue.
Marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary and well-doing.
Anytime somebody switches from the question, do you remember the question was talking about that? Anytime somebody starts talking about God, when the question had nothing to do with anything like that, it's a lie. There are people that are questioning your credentials. Well, God has a plan, and anything that God puts into, what are you talking about? Red flag. Red flag. Do I believe in God? 110%. What I say, if somebody asks me about my credentials, what have you done? Can you give me social proof? Can you give me something like that? Would I ever say, well, God really has a plan for me. And anytime that God has a plan, God is going to push me forward and push me forward in life. What are we talking about? This is like a prosperity preacher. So somebody said in the comments earlier, and I chuckled. I forgot to actually shout them out. I don't remember who said it. It was like, you must be from Atlanta. But it is giving Atlanta vibes. It is. I'll be honest. Continue.
I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
But
That's
with the
his.
questions that are
Can
out
you
there,
pause
why
it? Can
not
you pause
provide
it?
the
Can you
proof?
pause it right there? Don't forget where in this video you were. Just look the number so we can continue from there. Can we go back and go back to the question that was asked? Go to the question that was asked, which is the very beginning of the video.
Recently, people questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time.
Hey, look, lady, I'm giving you free marketing, no problem. Hey, y'all, go buy Cheyenne's book.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Go buy Cheyenne's book.
But with the questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles. It's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see. Right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all
you
of
guys
my
know
sessions.
I did a video on Shannon Sharp. Cam Newton and Nick Cannon both have like 150 baby mothers combined. Shannon Sharp just got sued by a 20-year-old snow bunny, and he's 50-something years old. We did a video on him, 2 videos on him last week. Yeah, absolutely. Your sessions, outstanding members of our community that we 100% respect their opinions. Yes, these are the smartest men and the best and smartest and sharpest men among us. Go sit down somewhere.
That were live.
And by the way,
and
it only costs $500 for them to get you over there, because you post videos like you just posted on your Instagram, the one that we just saw. You are a thirst trap. If you were, I don't even think she's attractive, to be honest with you. But let's say to the masses, to most people, she's attractive. Let's just say that. If you looked like Shaq in a woman's body, ain't nobody following you. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody's following you, and nobody gives a damn. And you know what else this lady said that we couldn't play because of the copyright stuff? She said that she doesn't have pretty privilege. She has pretty punishment. What? She said she doesn't have pretty privilege. She has pretty punishment. Because she's good looking, she's punished. Anyways, continue. This is nuts. Something wrong with this lady.
As well as I did before they did it. They can't validate.
And we didn't even get into the Touré stuff yet. But continue.
It as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I land on it. I created my own lane. And so
you said
a lot
3
of
times you're going to land
when
on
people
this.
see that you
haven't
created
landed
something
yet.
that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack. But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop?
Okay, wait.
From your
Stop. You see, you're not educated as you think when you do that. The lady, if you rewind a second, the lady said, "I've gotten many. I owe it to my viewers to ask you this question," but the lady didn't ask the question yet. And she's like, yes, you do. You owe it to them. You're not listening. You cannot listen and speak at the same time, Bryant. You can't listen and speak at the same time. So all she's doing is brushing away everything that is being said to her. Oh yeah, you, of course, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Anytime you guys are in a meeting, you're talking to your friends or whatever, and even if it's a positive thing that they're saying, quote unquote, supporting your thought, your idea, or anything like that. If they're speaking when you haven't even finished your thought and they're agreeing or disagreeing or speaking while you're speaking, they're not listening. Play that back one more time.
And I owe it to them.
You
in
do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're
All right.
Because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
And remember what the lady said. The other lady said, she says she earned it because she paid to go to doctor school. That's why she thinks she earns it. She earned it because she says she's paid for it. And remember what she said on the Breakfast Club. I could have got my money back. They would have refunded me my money. So the only thing that this lady is sitting on, the only thing that she's staying on is that I paid for it, even though I didn't actually graduate from it. It's like buying a course that you didn't complete. I paid for this course. I didn't complete the course, but I paid for it, so I earned it.
Yo, that's crazy. You saw her face when the host's face. She was like, "So you're standing by that?" And she's like, and then she's like, "Okay." And then she goes to talk to the audience. That's crazy.
Play that piece one more time.
Just
for our viewers, play that piece one more time.
I already took the video off, bro, but I have to put it back up. Give me a second.
No, it's fine then. They can rewind. But anyways, this stuff is absolutely ridiculous. So apparently Touré was on a show with this fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched Touré's video about her in preparation because we were going to actually make a video about her, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like around the time she did the Breakfast Club interview. It was like 2 weeks ago. But then we put it on the back burner for a bit. And then the next week after that, then there was the Drake album thing. So we did that stuff. There's a bunch of other stuff that we talked about. So we didn't get to it. But Touré did a video on her. But he didn't mention anything about the fact that they actually really did have an argument on air in which she insulted him. All he said was, we had a lot of on-air clashes and I disagreed with her and X, Y, and Z. But he didn't actually say anything. This is really important to know. He didn't put that video out. Or maybe, I don't know. But as far as I do know, he didn't put that video out. Somebody leaked the video of her berating him and calling him gentle and soft and basically gay. She is the one that was saying those things. I don't know who leaked it or if Touré did himself, but he didn't mention any of that during that time. So for you guys that aren't caught up, Touré was on a show with her. And when he was trying to wrap up the show, obviously they cut it out the show. But when he was trying to wrap up the show, they got into a clash. So let's get into the Touré stuff, see.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to
Can you stop? Can you
mental.
stop there? All right. Put me on the screen. I'm not going to say anything, but if I was speaking, I would like for you to tell me if you would believe me. You feel me?
Sure thing. No.
Body language. Okay. Remember, how much of communication is words? 7%. 7% of communication is actual words. Everything else is tonality, body language. 7% of communication is words. This is what she's doing. Look at her. So run that back one more time. And Touré, according to Touré, he cringed every time that he had to call her doctor because he knew she wasn't a doctor, according to him. But go ahead.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a child. I think that there are rules and in their structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be.
This is the thing with this lady. This is the thing with this lady. She in order to convince people, oftentimes, you guys will notice this. Our audience is smart. In order to convince people, oftentimes they go to one extreme to make people feel like, oh yeah, that's true. But the smart people in the world, the thinkers in the world, always know that the dummies are on the extreme sides, and the thinkers and the smart people are in the middle. So she says something like, gentle parenting creates gentle children, and gentle children go out in the world and they don't realize that there's boundaries because they have gentle parenting. And then they have issues with law enforcement and whatever, all the other stuff that she said. On its face, absolutely true. For somebody that's a spoiled ass kid, which is 2% of any kid. It's like 2 out of 100, because 85% of children are somewhere in the middle. And you got like 5 to 7 maybe here, and 5 to 7 maybe here, in the extremes. So she says something like, oh, well, if you're a gentle parent, you're going to have a gentle child, and they're not going to know how to navigate around the world, and they're going to have issues with law enforcement. They're not going to understand boundaries, and they're about X, Y, and Z. Yeah, no shit. You're not saying anything profound. When I was in university, my major was psychology. Although I didn't finish university, so I'm being honest with you guys, because I'm not a doctor. But when I was in university, she didn't finish either. But when I was in university, I remember them talking about, when I was in psychology, they talked about like a gambler, right? And I remember being in lectures about like statistics and gambling and X, Y, and Z, and they related it to even like a child. And you can never give in to a child that throws a temper tantrum, because the one time that the child throws a temper tantrum, they will always throw a temper tantrum because it's the same person at the slot machine. If they win once, or if they even know that there's a possibility of winning, they're going to keep pulling the lever every single time because they think that they're going to be able to win at least one time. So you can never give in to the child, because the child will throw a temper tantrum knowing, oh, it worked one time. It's just a matter of temper tantrums that I have to throw in order for it to work. You see, I sound more like a doctor than this person. That is in the middle. That is parenting in the middle. She goes to the extreme of a parent that gives into their child every time. She goes to the extreme of a parent that would go in and be a gentle parent every single situation, every single time, or go to this extreme to a parent that doesn't take any ish from their child ever and doesn't even have a conversation to whatever. Because everybody sounds smart on the outside. But when you actually go to school for this, and when you actually apply your knowledge and your situation, you know that this is the actual theory. These doctors, these psychologists, they study theories. She hasn't pulled out any theory. I just gave you one when I went to school for psychology. I just gave you a theory that was taught to me in university. She is a fraud. And every single time I've ever seen her speak, I've always looked at her like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you even saying? And it sounds great because you're one extreme. Just like the white supremacist people who sound great when they're all the way on this side. They sound like, oh, wow, white men are being suppressed and we can't speak in our country. And this is a country that we built and blah, blah, blah. This is exactly the talking points where everybody sounds smart. This is the Andrew Tate shit. This is the manosphere stuff. Oh, women, we are going to be so extreme and like, oh, women X, Y, and Z. This is why they all sound smart until they get into a room where people have to talk into the middle. People have to be in the middle and have actual talking points where you hear a little bit of this side and you hear a little bit of this side and you actually have to communicate. Everybody seems smart when they speak in extremes. Always remember that. Anyways, let's continue.
The center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land, this is how life works, and successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up.
Like, if you could just rewind that 10 seconds, every child needs discipline and boundaries. Is that, like, what are we talking about? No shit. This is regular smegular stuff that if it wasn't being said by somebody who calls himself a doctor, that has literally doctor in their name on the screen, and that is a objectively attractive person, nobody would even give a damn what you're saying, because what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. And whenever it does, it's obvious. No shit. Obviously, every child needs discipline and boundaries. Who's going to disagree with that? Sure. Discipline and boundaries. Like you're saying something that's profound. It's not. You haven't given any theory, you haven't given any examples, you haven't given anything to anybody to believe that what's coming out of your mouth is actually credible. Play that back again.
Just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are a gentle.
God,
you are a very.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men.
So what Touré was trying to do was he was trying to, because he explained that if you guys want to see, you guys go in his video. I didn't want to play it because I don't think we get along anyways. So he'll probably dox our channel and give us a flag. So we didn't want to really play much of what he said on his channel, which we will play a bit. But my point is that what he was trying to do, according to what he was saying in the video, they had a bunch of behind the scenes conversations about this. And he was saying no therapist, psychiatrist, no type of doctor has ever told him ever that gentle parenting creates gentle children, that corporal punishment for children, in other words, whooping your child's ass, which I kind of stand by, but I'm not a doctor. Whooping your child's ass is going to make them more fit for the world. That's what his point was. And according to him, they clashed about this behind the scenes. So when he says, well, if gentle parents make gentle children, then I actually would like that, because according to him, he's saying, I think we need more gentle people in the world. I think that we need people not to be crashing out in this world. So I don't want to create a crash out. And according to Touré, I think he has like 2 teenage kids or something like that. So that's what he's coming from. That's where he's coming from. But you see how she goes on the attack right away. You could tell that they had this conversation already behind the scenes. So if you guys are being like, wow, she's what a witch. You guys know what word I mean. It's not really that. It's actually just that they've had this clash behind the scenes. So she is reading the room and seeing that he's actually taking a shot at what she's saying. And so that's why she responded the way she is. I'm not sticking up for either of them. I just want to give you guys a context.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world, is more gentle men who understand.
Ray, you're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back, because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Touré, first of all, Touré.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all, Touré, first of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point?
Touré,
what is the point? It says go to host up.
Voice when you're talking to me. Lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Touré, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Touré, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold
talk
on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do.
It's no wonder why we never saw that show.
All I gotta say about that one is
stop it. Get some help.
Oh my gosh, stop it. Get some help. So bro,
you're knocking over cameras.
Doctor. This is your therapist, family therapist, relationship therapist. This is your Cheyenne Bryant.
Yo, that's crazy though. That's you know what's so crazy about that is that a real doctor, somebody who actually has those license and all of this stuff and went through all and actually got 6 degrees, 1 master's,
and 3 doctorates. 6 degrees, 1 master, 3 doctorates.
A situation would handle a situation, that situation a lot better. She's crazy. She's out of her mind.
I've met girls like her. Growing up in the hood.
Wait, hold on.
I've met, she doesn't remind me, and she's no different than my first serious girlfriend when I was 16 years old. It's exactly the same. Like I've met women like that. Okay. Like this lady, if she was actually educated, wouldn't she say something educational coming out of her mouth? Touré, what you're not understanding is X, Y, and Z. And then speak about theory, speak about studies that have been done, speak about actual knowledge, instead of resorting to name calling. You know who resorts to name calling and gay shaming or whatever she was doing, or was a homophobia or whatever? You know what she was doing? She was resorting to homophobia, calling you names and name calling and trying to emasculate you. An education, a person with the education that she claims to have does not do that. They come at it from an angle of I know more than you. I can speak a language that you can't understand because I did the work. I went to school. I did all of I've gained all of the knowledge, and I understand things in a total different dimension, and let me break it down for you. And I wouldn't get offended or whatever, because you don't have to get offended, because when you know that you know more than somebody else, you're like, yeah, you're just dumb. Let me break it down for you. You're just an idiot. The other day, no shade, but the other day we were working on some stuff for some people, right? And we were using AI, right? And we had to tell AI, well, these people, they're not that smart. Right? Did we not literally put that in the AI? They're not that smart. So we can't talk to them the way I would talk to you or the AI. We got to break it down like 5 levels down, because they're not that smart. They don't have the knowledge that we have. Right? We had to break it down. No disrespect. She is out here name calling like she's in the schoolyard. Softy. And then she's cussing and, oh, shut the F up when you talk to me, and lower your voice. That's for your wife. And you're a gentleman. You're not a gentleman. You're a gentleman, and blah, blah. Like, now, when people say, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, a doctor wouldn't say that, or that's not how a doctor acts. That's not because a doctor is less aggressive, or a doctor is less, confrontational. That has nothing to do with that. You can be a doctor and be very confrontational. You could be very aggressive. You can go at somebody, at a doctor. You could be a doctor and punch somebody in the face. That's not what we're talking about. Or maybe they're talking about that, but that's not what I'm talking about. A doctor doesn't speak like that because a doctor has so much knowledge that they just drop on you because they spent X amount of years in school learning this. So they educate you. That's what they do. They educate you. If you're a real doctor, if you're a professional in your sphere, you would never resort to name calling. You would just say, hey, let me break this down for you because you're an idiot and you can't understand. But hey, I just name called. But hey, this is how this works. These are the studies that have been done. This is what you don't know about human biology, or this is what you don't know about the chemistry, the chemical makeup. This is what you don't know about this day and age versus the other day and age. These are the facts that you have overlooked. They don't say, well, you're a softie. Listen, you're a gentle man. And they don't do that. They don't have to. Because why? They know more than you. So they break it down. Unbelievable. Childish. Exactly, Zutor. Zutor says childish. Exactly. Emasculating somebody. And what day and age you're trying to tell somebody, oh, you're a softie or you're a gentleman, basically trying to call him gay. Like, if you're an actual doctor, like, is that a real insult? And you're a therapist and you're a relationship coach and you're a family coach and all this stuff. Is that an insult?
And you understand how people think in the mind of people, as you claim to do also. But
she doesn't. That's the hilarious part.
So Touré did a video about this, and he did a little bit of explanation, and he, I want to get into that.
Hold on, guys. For a second time, I'm telling her again, hold on. Please stop talking. I'm the host. And
hold up.
That means
put me on the screen real quick. I want to acknowledge Touré is a little bit like, he comes off like it's not a secret. I don't want to say, I'm not trying to overlook that. What I'm saying is her trying to attack him for coming off like that is so childish, and so it's such a thing that an uneducated person would do. It's not something that when you're talking, if we were just talking about what you're wearing today, that would be different. But they're literally talking about raising children to a quote unquote doctor, which he's not, a quote unquote doctor who knows about relationships, family, and she's coaching and she's a quote unquote therapist for these type of people. So you're talking about that field. If they were just arguing or something like that about what you're wearing or something like that, it would be totally different. So I'm not going to overlook the fact that he does come off a little bit feminine. But first of all, who cares? Secondly, what does that have to do with your expertise in your field? We're talking about your expertise. We're talking about your field. What does it have to do with what we're talking about? Nothing.
Talking. Let me do my job. I've got to be able to do my job as far as shaping the conversation for maximum impact and holding us on time. When you interrupt me, you're making it impossible for me to do my job.
That's what, hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes
but even though she has nothing to say, she is dying to interrupt me.
Hold on, guys. That's what we need. And
she's attacking me now. You're very gentle. She intends it to seem emasculating. She's basically saying, you're gay. I can hear her talking a lot while I'm talking. And by now I know we've talked at the same time for a while. This is bad TV. She's like a barrier preventing me from doing my job. And because we had talked about that specific issue all season long, I got upset.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
Touré's play-by-play is hilarious. It's 1 second plus.
First of all,
we spent a whole meeting on this. We spent a whole meeting on this because we had spent a whole meeting with the producer to explain again this one issue. Don't interrupt him when he's wrapping the show. When he's doing any of the traffic cop business of hosting the show, as in moving us from one segment to the next or ending the show. I have to be able to do those things without her breaking in to say nothing.
Touré, first of all, Touré.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all,
Touré,
first of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
When you're talking to me.
I said, why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm explaining why I'm upset. I'm focused on the issue at hand. So now the supposed doctor, who's supposedly a talk therapist, who supposedly understands conflict management, is cursing at me and mocking me for having feelings and trying to trigger me further. This is not professional TV demeanor, but it's definitely not a professional therapist with a doctorate. That's clear.
Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine.
She's trying to trigger me. She's trying to say, you're gay. Because I'm upset that she broke protocol for the millionth time?
Soft and very feminine.
I'm very feminine, she says. I'm not proud that I lost my cool, but even though I was upset, I remained I'm not proud that I lost my cool, but even though I was upset, I remained focused on the issue. Your interrupting is making it impossible for me to do my job. And we had a whole meeting about that. She's attacking my manhood.
I'm not your wife, Softy.
I'm not your wife, Softy. Again, with the attempted emasculation. Again, trying to amp up the problem and not taking any accountability. Again, trying to trigger me, trying to insult me, going way out of bounds. I am not trying to insult her. I'm saying, let me do my job. She's pulling off her earrings and smearing on the Vaseline.
Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
This is not a person with a doctorate in psychology. I don't need to see any transcripts. She still was mad wild even after I stopped talking.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do.
From the first conversation we had, I did not believe she was a doctor, and I always bristled at being asked to call her that. It never felt right. I could tell she was nobody's intellectual. I texted her before and after shows saying, you're the #1 option. I'm going to get you the ball more than anyone else. But you got to let me do the traffic cop stuff. You got to let me change segments and wrap the show without having to compete with you for the space. You got to know that when I tell you to chill, don't interrupt, you got to chill. I'm the host. And when you go against the direction that I'm building up, it messes up the whole thing. And it looks like a mess. To have the permanent guest interrupting the host while he's driving the show is giving Soul Plane TV. And I am...
Yo, bro says Soul Plane TV. And I was dying when he said she was taking off the earrings and smearing on the Vaseline. You shouldn't have said smearing on the Vaseline. You should have said the Diddy oil. the baby oil.
No, but you get like the take the Vaseline. Okay, you gonna fight?
Yeah, I got it.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
All
at the end of the day, like this is, you guys. I'm not a huge. Again, I want to make this clear. This lady, Cheyenne Bryant, probably helped many people. I don't want to take that away from her, and we need more people like that in our community that are out there trying to help people as well, right? She's, as far as I can tell, she's not being destructive. But at the same time, like aside from this Touré thing, but at the same time, there's levels to this. And her faking it, that she's at this level, it's just so clear. And that's what this Touré thing that she had with this Touré thing, it just shows you're not on the level that you say that you're on. I wish we had 100 Cheyenne Bryants, 1,000 Cheyenne Bryants, 10,000 Cheyenne Bryants, minus the minus the fake doctorate stuff, because she is honestly trying to help people. So I'm not hating on her in that regard. I'm just telling you there's levels to this, number one, and number two, and most importantly, a lot of the ways that you act, we don't want to imitate that behavior. That's not the behavior. I don't have a daughter, but I have nieces. I have goddaughters. I have 4 goddaughters and I have 2 nieces. I don't want any of my goddaughters or nieces, any of the 6 of them, to ever be trying to emasculate men like that. I wouldn't want any of them to be acting reactionary like that. And I certainly wouldn't want any of them. One is a nurse. My second oldest goddaughter is a nurse. I wouldn't want her to say she's a doctor. She's a nurse. You feel me? Like, I wouldn't want any of that stuff to be happening. Like, I would want them to encourage people and to help people and stuff like that in the way that Cheyenne Bryant does. But I think Cheyenne Bryant's taking it to another level. And the reason why I think she's doing that is because of the money. I think she's trying to get paid.
So I agree with you with the whole, yeah, she's trying to get paid, but I don't agree with you that she is trying to help people in that sense, or she's doing good, or it doesn't harm people. If you are giving people advice on family and all of that, that is not coming from an educated and a heavily researched position, then you can give people the wrong information. As you've talked about earlier in this live, that she has said things that don't make sense. She's out there giving people wrong information that can potentially affect the entire family, an entire household. So I don't agree in that regard. And I want to get into that video. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I want to get into that video with an actual doctor who talked about what she's doing and how it affects other doctors who have their license and have actually gone through the process.
Right. That's important too. Yeah, you're right.
People saying licenses and degrees didn't matter until more Black people started getting licenses and degrees. And I also want to address,
put it on the full screen,
that it took me some time to think about doing this video, because as a Black woman, it's just been really, really tough for us as Black women. But I do want you to know that I always state that my Black love is also accountability. And being Black does not mean that when I'm dealing with other Black people, I'm pro-Blackness no matter what you do. So I don't want you to, I don't want to hear anything about like, oh, this is an attack on a Black woman. It's not solely, it was the aspect of supporting Black people was never about supporting just Black people no matter what they do. It's supporting Black people in love and also having accountability. And these messages are wrong, and they have been wrong, and they have consistently been wrong. And and as someone who has the size of a platform that I have, I think it's important for me to share psychoeducation and information, because I understand the significance of it. And I understand the significance of it because I'm actually working in this field. This is a really harmful message. And I do understand that there's this aspect of like things are entertainment, but these things are harming us. And I know they harm us because I'm actually working in the field. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of individuals will say it's not that deep or state that it's just entertainment is because, one, you think mental health in psychology is just folk wisdom, and it's not, it's a science. And two, you guys are very insulated from the field that you claim to be discussing because you don't work in that field and you haven't in quite some time. But as someone who walks into the offices and sees the clients and goes to the talks and does the community programs,
I feel like she's
we are
talking directly
struggling.
to me.
And these little entertainment only pieces that are spreading misinformation, you're doing more harm for the Black community than you know. And the only way you would know that is if you did the work that I do. And you're never going to, because one, you're not qualified. And two, it would break you down. It would break you down every single day. I've never heard so many people saying licenses and degrees didn't matter until more Black people started getting licenses and degrees.
I feel like you were speaking right to me. You know, I had a incredible neighbor who ironically kind of looks like her. The best neighbor I ever had in my entire life. This is also back when I lived in the hood, but she was a psychologist. She was a psychiatrist. She was a psychiatrist, and she used to tell me the same type of things that lady told me, or told us just now. She used to say, like, you wouldn't understand unless you actually did this work. And like, she was like, I need a psychiatrist myself with all the stuff that people unload. And I have to like, just hear all these crazy things. I have to deal with all the stuff. I actually need this myself. And actually, one of the things that happened to her was one of her clients actually went, well, I mean, she's a psychiatrist, so most of her clients are crazy. But one of her clients like went off the rails and like started choking her in the office. Like she couldn't breathe. And being the wonderful woman that she is, hilarious. She was like, she reenacted it. She was like, I was like, on my desk. And he was like, she made a joke out of it, but it's real. What that lady is saying is absolutely real. And you will do harm to the community when you pass yourself off of that, off as that. And not only that, more importantly, not only are you doing harm to the community, you're also making the rest of them look bad because you're claiming to be them, but you're not them. So they also look very bad.
Yeah, definitely. And you want to know how I know she is actually not a real doctor as well? Because my aunt is an actual psychologist. And she says, when you deal with these people, these clients, you start feel like you're losing your mind. You yourself, you have to be very strong-willed, very disciplined. And that video that we just showed you with her on just having a simple conversation with Touré, that's not somebody who's strong-willed and very disciplined.
It's so true. What you just brought up is such you have to be strong-willed and disciplined even as a coach, as she claims to be. Because you know how many times I've had coaching clients say stuff that I want to say something, but I'm just like, okay, let's ask questions and drive them through the journey of discovery. Because like if you used to be a coaching client of mine yourself, and you know, I ask you questions to make you figure it out on your own instead of telling you what to do. And as much as I have the itch to just be like, it's right there, the answer's right there, come on, man. Like, as much as I have the itch, I have to keep coming up with, okay, here's a suggestion, here's another question, here's an X, Y, and Z, so that you can figure it out on your own. And that takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of discipline. So she's not even a good coach. So exactly. I take back the things that I was saying before about, you know, we need more people in the community like this. Actually, you're right. And you showing me that video just now actually makes me second guess those opinions. Maybe I have to sit on it for a little bit and just realize, pause, and then just realize and realize, like, you know, what she's actually saying and how this is helping. I want to believe that somebody like this is helping our community. But at the same time, we got to really scrutinize this because you're a fraud.
Yeah. And this is not just our opinions too, you know, this is what people are out there saying too. So I want to play this video. Let's get into it.
Cheyenne Not Dr. Bryant calling that man soft and gentle like it was a drag while the internet is currently playing CSI Miami with her credentials is taking me the fuck out. Your entire resume got people squinting at their screen like they are trying to read the ingredients on the back of a wet seasoning packet, and yet somehow you have the nerve to care about somebody else's masculinity. And soft. Please. Meanwhile, every time you ask or get asked a follow-up question, you want people to be soft with you, and all of your supporters are forming a prayer circle around you talking about giving grace and what? Softness. Because suddenly softness matters. Suddenly gentleness matters. And suddenly people should be handled with care, which is interesting because the first time that you got to try and sun that black man publicly, femininity and softness became the insults. Suddenly emotional regulation became weakness. And suddenly not performing WWE SmackDown masculinity meant that somebody was less credible. And let's stop with the fake confusion right now, because black people, we know what soft means when it's used or said at a black man with an attitude behind it. That is community code for you ain't man enough for me to give a fuck, care, or respect you. And that is the appetizer before homophobia and all of that shit really shows up. Every queer person listening to that heard the dog whistle immediately. Every black boy that's ever been called sweet before somebody calls him gay or faggot heard it immediately. Every man who's ever gotten punished for being emotionally intelligent instead of emotionally unavailable heard it. Y'all swear y'all are progressive until men don't grunt enough for your liking. And then Amanda Seals floating in like brilliance was the best thing that you had to say is making me pass the fuck away. Because you of all people, the patron saint of actually, let's look at the facts, suddenly got a fog machine of praise for this woman who is accused of playing fast and loose with the truth. So credentials matter when it's about you being dragged, but not when it's about the internet asking for somebody else's degrees who have more plot twists than the Tyler Perry finale, mind you. Oh, okay, cool. Great. But before y'all stop foaming out the mouth talking about black women being unfairly targeted, yes, we are. White people do that shit all day, every day, and sometimes they fail upward into Congress. But since when did white people do it worse become a standard for black integrity? Because that's exactly why we stay in mess. Some of y'all think that solidarity means pretending that you don't see foolishness when it's wearing lace front and speaking in therapy buzzwords. But I beg to differ. Honestly, the thing that is gagging me the most about this is that the woman that is publicly begging for nuance right now, empathy, understanding, and grace, try to weaponize softness against somebody else. Bitch, you are currently asking for people to handle you gently right now. And that's what makes this hilarious. But let me tell you something else. This obsession that the black community has with hardness is a part of the reason why everybody here is tired, traumatized, emotionally constipated, and fighting demons in Fashion Nova sweatsuits. Because everybody wants healed men until healing don't sound aggressive enough. Everybody wants vulnerable men until vulnerability stops performing masculinity correctly. Everybody wants to protect black men until those black men are thoughtful, emotionally articulate, or queer adjacent in any way. Then suddenly y'all start reaching for words like soft, like it's holy water against the demon. Meanwhile, half of the people screaming alpha male can't communicate past the 7th grade level and think that therapy is drinking Hennessy in the car with their homeboys. I'm exhausted with you bitches.
Now, I have to say, I'm more to think that this chick is a psychologist and she has her license.
Can we just recognize that she did all that shit in one take? I was looking for the video cuts. I was looking for a cut. She did all that in one. Hey, what is this woman's name? Like, we got to get her on the channel. She is really good. Wow. What a talent that is. Holy smokes. Yo, bro, she did all that in one take.
Not one
I come from the music industry. Like, for me to even, the lyrics I wrote down myself, I can't even do like that. She was good. Damn. I saw Toure said Amanda Seals is a whole other problem. Why don't we play Amanda Seals? Because we got that too. Amanda Seals was backing Bryant. Let's get into that.
Like a false, I think it's like a false, it's like faux rage to be like all up in arms about this one person. So someone here said, this one person is influencing vulnerable black people and therefore they are causing harm. It's funny how you can hand wave that away so callously. How is she causing harm? How is she causing harm? Is she giving bad advice? Is she invoking folks to harm themselves? How is she causing harm? She is falsely using a title to give people, to endear people to trust her more. That's whack. Causing harm? I don't know, playa. I think your version of harm is really loose compared to how much harm is being caused to black people in real life. Cheyenne Bryant is not causing black people harm, the same way that Jussie Smollett was not causing black people harm. And yet people will never let him live that down. Okay, she has no credentials. Is what she's saying, is she useful? Is she helpful? Like, I mean, the amount of people, here's the thing. If the issue is you're like, well, she didn't put in the work to get the PhD and I think it's unfair for her to take credit for something she didn't put in the work for, that's fine. When y'all be like, she doesn't have credentials, I'm just kind of like, the concept of credentials at this point is very loose. It's very loose. I mean, I don't. Thank you, Val. It's like, listen to her or don't listen to her. She doesn't have any power over you. She's not doing anything legislative. She's not physically harming people. She's not mentally harming people. Hey, Alexa says, I'm a therapist and I don't give two. At the end of the day, my thing is this. We have to look at the bigger picture. If she was out here, like the fact that people still would like to quote, like this guy, what's his name? Who's the man that died? And he was like doing all of this couples counseling or would sit there and disrespect women all day to their face. Like, what? I forgot his name. But people were swearing up and down by this man. He didn't have no goddamn credentials. Kevin Samuels. People didn't have he didn't have no goddamn credentials.
She said a whole bunch of nothing just now.
Absolutely. And Toure said he or she is from Orlando, and I guess witness Amanda Seals come up because remember she was like a Nickelodeon kid too. I don't know what show she was on, but all those kids seem to go crazy to me.
Yeah, so yeah, there's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but
man.
Yeah, this stuff is gone like way crazy. We're gonna talk about it over the weekend too. Like we got more like to cover over the weekend. I got a lot of stuff to cover because we were away last week, so we have content that's been piling up. I got a lot of stuff to cover, but y'all be on the lookout. See, I appreciate you being extraordinary. Just as your background is extraordinary. I think it, come on. Hey, you know what? I have an extraordinary background too. Look at that. I'm playing. I appreciate you being on. Y'all, join us over the weekend. Please look out for the notifications. If you haven't pushed the little bell button, I'm looking at it right here. Push the bell button. All right. Share this video with somebody who you definitely know can benefit from it. And I will see y'all in the next couple of days. Peace.
Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. Like a helicopter, spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. Oh, when me choppers them, oh, when me choppers them, oh, when me choppers them, oh, when me choppers them. Rags with me, flags with me, rags with me, flags with me, rags with me, flags with me. Yo, spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Wave your rags like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Round and round like a helicopter. Spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Wave your rags like a helicopter. Spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Hi, choppers fly, helicopters. We drunk cause we drink like a fish in the water. So high the world spinning fast, start dripping with sweat, but it don't really matter. The music making me ball out. We see ladies and we call out. Them girls and them whining all out. Look, I fight in the back, them brawl out. What? Me no business about that. Girls on me mind, so me thinking about that. Woman in the place, so me hunting for that. Bumpers in me face, so me on the attack. Just give me Henny, give me Stack. No racial thing, white oak, Johnny Black. Oh gosh, I gotta catch a jet lag. 1919 does have me feeling high, like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they